All right, so the fight card is still going. I don't care. This whole card, if I'm not mistaken, is on ESPN Plus. So I don't care. It's going to have to wait because I got to get this off my chest. After watching these two garbage WMMA fights. And you know what? After I do this live stream, I think I'm going to change my name to former WMMA addict. Former WMMA addict. Why? Because these fights that they put on lately, the vast majority of them have been straight up garbage. Garbage. Just absolute trash. And I'm not motivated to talk about these goofy looking trash fights. Okay? These girls putting on boring, lackluster, and actually infuriating performances. Laughable. These performances are disgraceful. I don't care how much time they put in at the gym. I don't care how long they spend at the gym. I don't care if you at the gym 6 hours a day. All that means is you at the gym for 6 hours throwing raggedy punches, goofy kicks and looking goofy, not doing nothing, being an IG model before anything else. Y'all went to a gym and you picked up MMA to stay in shape, and a couple little thirsty dudes at the gym wanted a piece of that and offered to train you just to get close to you. Not because he thought you were skilled, not because he thought you had potential. He just wanted to tap that. You understand? So he started training you, and you ended up in the cage. But these girls, some of these girls, listen, some of them as fighters, they got potential. They're potential bums. They got the potential to be a bum. That's what I see more than anything. Now, me being an analyst, I'm looking for talent. As I watch these fights, as always, I got an eye out for the next big thing. And all I see is the next big bomb. Now, let me tell y'all something. And some of you might not believe this, but you know what? I don't care. I did not bother to pay attention to the weigh-ins. But when I Googled the UFC fight card, I got a result that said one fighter missed weight. I did not look to see who missed weight because I didn't want to disappoint myself before the card. But once the fight started, I knew it was Lana Santos who missed weight just by looking at her. I had to stop. I paused the fight and I said, let me go find out if it was Lana Santos who missed weight. And indeed it was. Missed weight by 3 pounds. And that don't surprise me. Because she was in there straight bumming it up. Fighting like a overweight pig. Laying all over her opponent. Tired, gassed. By the midway point of the second round, she was so tired she'd throw a punch and almost hit the ground. Almost do a 360. Out of shape. And really, she ain't no bantamweight. This girl is more like a strawweight or a flyweight. She just overweight and ain't got no work ethic. That's what it is. And if nothing else, she got garbage performances. Garbage. Goofy, raggedy punches did she throw these wild, goofy haymakers? Get these fighters out of here. Dana White, and they're falling off. We don't want to see girls just because they cute. If we want to look at cute girls, we know where to find them. You can find them anywhere. Stop signing these girls just because you think they cute. Just because Lana Santos was undefeated don't mean she UFC worthy. Just look at how she fight. Sloppy, ugly work. Her work is ugly. Her work is ugly. Y'all know the saying, beautiful work, beautiful work. Lana Santos' performances are hideous. I don't want to see that. And like I said, you don't have to have beautiful form. At least fight with some level of tenacity. She was in there being lazy, a pig, wasting our money, wasting our time, laying up against. It's bad enough she missed weight, and she the one that missed weight by 3 pounds. In there looking like it. Now, why did she miss weight? Could it be that she invests too much of her time being an Instagram model? Listen, man, she strikes me as an Instagram model. She don't strike me as no MMA fighter with no discipline. Look at her. Look at the photo she decided to pin at the very top. Her twerking. Stop this, man. Why? Why must we endure this? This is not talent. Just like that stupid slap. Power slap. Stop trying to force stuff down people's throats. See, their thing is, once we get you, we got you forever. You'll watch anything we put on. But watch me change my name to former WMMA addict and watch me specialize in roasting these garbage performances. Lana Santos and Stephanie Egger. What was Stephanie Egger in there doing? Santos was ready to be taken out. Stephanie Egger throwing punches almost like she wanted Santos to rush in for a clinch. Egger with these scarecrow, goofy looking, gangly punches. No speed, no form. And every punch Egger threw, it invited Santos to duck underneath it and go in for a clinch so she could be a fat, lazy pig and run the clock down again. I start to feel like sometimes fellas is too lenient on these women just because they women and because they think a lot of them is kind of cute. If you doing that, you selling out. You selling out the sport. Selling out the sport. You got to hold them up to the same scrutiny we hold the men up to because it's about the performances. They're putting on garbage performances. And what was that first fight all about? That girl, Amanda. I was sort of looking forward to this fight to see what type of performance Amanda was going to put on. Okay? I wanted to see what she was going to do. Wasn't she the undefeated fighter? One of them was undefeated. What was her name? Is it Rayanne Amanda? That girl, wait a minute. That girl, Rayanne Amanda, put on one of the most goofy performances I've ever seen. Mad goofy. Who was undefeated? It's Toledo was undefeated. I couldn't tell. Because she looked goofy too. She was not it. Toledo, Alan Card, that was a garbage performance. I wasn't impressed with that. It was garbage. All Santos had, this Santos, all she had was a goofy right hand. She had no kicks. She had no nothing. No clinch work. couldn't fight on the ground. All she could do is bounce around and throw a right hand. Why did you sign her to the UFC? Her opponent, Toledo, was wide open for whatever Rayanne wanted to throw out there. Rayanne just didn't throw nothing out there. Run around, stall, waste the clock, waste our time, and then throw an ill-timed, raggedy haymaker right hand. Get out of here. Get them out of here, man. I know y'all can find fighters who can throw shots better than that. Don't give me that that's the best thing that was in the gym. I bet you I could go around just in my area alone and find better female fighters than this. If this the best you got, then you need to pump the brakes on signing some of these chicks. Because these performances are garbage. And it's mainly the UFC performances. The non-UFC fights have been the only thing carrying WMMA. The non-UFC bouts have been fire. Especially the heavyweights. Now, I don't care what nobody say. I'm a fan. I was an instant fan of the heavyweights. I know they might look big and sloppy, but there's some increased aggression there. I'm a fan. Let's get it popping. Let's keep it going. Okay? Hey, say what you want. I'm all in with the heavyweights. That's pretty much, they have been the ones that's been carrying WMMA. The UFC performances have been garbage. And they've been doing nothing but putting on more and more garbage performances. This fight between Miesha Tate and Julia Avila was garbage. That was garbage. Julia Avila, how do you get washed by a washed up Miesha Tate? How you get washed by a Miesha Tate who got washed by Lauren Murphy? How did that happen? How did that happen? She went in there and got mauled for 2 straight rounds. Julia had nothing. Julia threw them raggedy, goofy punches like she always do. Julia, throwing them raggedy flurries, that's not going to get you by in every fight. Julia looked horrible. That was a horrible performance. And I gave her high marks in the past. I've given Julia high marks in the past. She's got good power, good aggression, good tenacity, but no matter how good you are, you got to channel it right. Channel it properly. You got to set things up. You can't just go in there and go berserk, be all high strung, and not have any type of strategy. That was terrible. And Miesha wasn't no better. The same old Miesha. No offense, her wrestling just worked. If Julia would have been good enough to fight off those takedown attempts, she probably would have beat Miesha up. As it was, Miesha already had a puffy eyeball, and Julia really didn't have nothing to offer. And Miesha started swelling up already. What punch? I don't even remember Miesha taking no punch like that. Horrible. Now, like I said, the heavyweight is fire. Fire fights. PFL, they know what's happening. Them big girls got in there and started showing y'all how it was done. And listen, man, PFL, Invicta as well, have been having the strongest performances. They've been coming through with the performances. UFC straight garbage. How is that even possible? I thought y'all was supposed to pick up the highest talent. And how didn't y'all know that female heavyweights will pop off? They're popping off. Not just the heavyweights, but 155. What is it, 150, 165 pounds? Man, them big girls, it's entertaining if you ask me. And it's not just because UFC fights is so garbage right now. So this is pathetic. And this is exactly what WMMA needs. They need harsh critics. They need dissatisfied customers. They need people who've proven to be fans of the sport to show disappointment when they start putting on lackluster performances. No, don't expect, us to applaud you no matter what type of performances you're putting on. You know what I detect in some of these fights? Some of these girls don't feel like being aggressive. They don't feel like being aggressive that day. Don't feel like getting punched in the face. They don't feel like being violent in that day. Then this is not the sport for you. That's exactly why we've always said this is a man's sport. Because being aggressive is nothing to us. We can turn that trigger on, not a problem. So don't start showing your vulnerabilities. What is this? What's going on here? I want to see some of these. Look at these. These are some real scraps, man.
Oh, T-Train is rocking it. Has a head kick. The Yarborough's head. She's going to drag her down the front head and takes control. Oh, she's looking for the finish. She feels like she has her. So she's going to go in and land some heavy shots. She goes over the mill. Looking for the finish. We start by drilling, then you work into
power and tenacity. That's what made them shine. Now, the thing is, you don't even need power to put on good performances. Just have the tenacity. Be tenacious. Be aggressive. That first fight, that girl Santos, her aggression level was so low. That's what got her. That's what lost her the fight. She wasn't aggressive enough. Was not aggressive enough. I'm wondering, what is she even doing in there? What's she doing? Okay? So sad performances from the UFC. And it's like back to back to back to back to back fights. This fight, wait a minute, what was that other fight? Veronica Hardy against Jamie Lynn Horth. Listen, I wasn't excited, man. I watched the fights. I just wasn't happy with that, man. I wasn't happy with that. I'm not excited about the UFC bantamweight division. It's almost like the only division that's like, and this was not a great fight to me. None of these have been great fights to me. Just poor performances. I mean, it's telling that I'm saying that the heavyweights is carrying the sport. This seems like a decent low-ranked fight, but Miranda sort of asked for this fight. Is she again about to call somebody out and get beat up by the same person she called out? For her sake, I hope not. For her sake. But Andrea Lee can beat her up. I can see that happening. I'm going to tune into that fight. We'll see what happens. What else has been going on? Kayla Harrison put on... Listen, I wasn't impressed. That Kayla Harrison and her mouthing off to Cyborg, yeah, whatever. Legends are made. This is. Why has it been? Everything has been so dull in the UFC, and it's like just the UFC. As always, one FC fights always they're like always more exciting than UFC bouts. They figured it out. Now these were some, decent fights, I guess. But I didn't like that performance. Kayla Harrison. This Aspen lad, man.
She just is always going to keep moving.
Yeah, Aspen has done a great job there. Look at this, trying to take the back. Kayla, though, she's on with her escape so far.
Not waiting around to solidify the position. Kayla immediately reacts. Aspen's in pretty good shape here. She's got a leg caught. Now she's...
But especially considering her opponent, it wasn't an embarrassment. She didn't get steamrolled like a lot of other girls. Now, some people's been talking about how Loma's fighting low-ranked fighters. It's because she ain't supposed to be in here. She ain't supposed to be in this division. And Loma is just content with fighting the lower-ranked fighters and having a pay increase fighting the lower-ranked fighters. You know, pay increase just from the experience. Those U.S. dollars go a long way in Thailand. She's good to go. And I'm going to pick her over Bruna Brazil. Now, Brazil got power. As far as striking, of course, Loma's better. But the defense, Bruna Brazil, her defense is famously bad. Notoriously bad. She's known for not having defense, for leaving her head right there on center line and straight up in the air with her hands low. Seemed like a bad combination. I'm going to take Loma. And it's sad. This is one of the better fights. And, you know, as far as UFC, it's good to see a fighter with real talent. Loma's a real talent. A real fighter. Fighting's in her blood and culture. I don't want to see no Instagram models throwing punches. Okay? Some of these girls don't even belong in there with some of their opponents. Let's be real, man. That's why we see these weird blowouts sometimes. They be too one-dimensional. They go in there, they don't have one weapon that's above average, and they overuse it and eventually get figured out. That really sum up a lot of fighters. A whole lot of them. We just saw it tonight. Especially with Santos, with her little haymaker looping right hand. You take that right hand away from her, she don't have nothing. And she primarily throws it as a counter. She waits until she's attacked and then tries to throw a flurry, but, you know, punctuates with that haymaker right hand. It's a horrible fight style. Horrible fight style, and it reflects badly on her team. Because why would you, as coaches, send her in there fighting like that? Your fighter represents you as the coach. And you send her in there with nothing but a haymaker looping overhand right hand. And she really got washed and lost the fight against a fighter she should have beat. Man, oh man. At this point, it's just money hungry people. People who want a quick buck. And they want to push as many fighters onto the scene as possible rather than cultivating real talent. It's all a numbers game at this point. Now, the Amanda Ribas fight was a classic. Okay, I thought that was a classic because she took so
He's walking her down. Yeah, Ribas is break
early. Yeah, she was getting hit clean early in the fight, Amanda Ribas. And she weathered the storm, and you saw how vulnerable Lana Santos was once she got a little tired. Santos, I told y'all, I criticized her. I was real harsh on Luana Pinheiro, early in her career. And this is why. She's lost. She act like she don't know what to do. She dizzy, she confused, and she get tired quick. And then she's extremely easy to hit. She went in there. She had a good first round, was landing some hard shots. And, you know, they could fight 1,000 times. And the fight will unfold the same way each time. If Pinheiro don't knock Ribas out early, she's going to get washed, probably stopped herself. Because once Pinheiro get tired, she'll pass out just from being tired. You don't even have to hit her that hard. Amanda Ribas don't have that much power. But Pinheiro made her look like Mike Tyson in there.
Just walking her down.
Fight. That was a classic. I'm saying that was a classic. Like, it exceeded expectations, at least for me. It was a classic. You could watch that like over and over. There we go. That was full maximum effort from both, I thought. So yeah, obviously I'm not talking about all of the UFC fights. Definitely not talking about that one. So yeah, very much appreciated that fight. The fight with this chick, Alvarez. A lot of people thought Pudilova won, and a lot of people thought Pudilova won. Let me just say this: Alvarez, Ailin Perez, she's not good enough to talk the way she talks. You know, Pudilova was getting it in. Okay, you in a war against Pudilova, and I was rooting for Pudilova. I wanted Pudilova to put it on her. Like I said, I enjoy to dislike Ailin Perez. She's a good villain. But we'll see what happens with Perez. I guess you could say she's more entertaining than Pudilova. So maybe the UFC appreciates that. Again, the best
They knock me down, I get up again. I am the champion. Don't dominate, you can't hurt me now. I can't feel the pain. I was made for this, yeah, I was born to win. I am the champion. Unstoppable, unshakable. They knock me down, I get up again. I am the champion. You don't dominate, you can't hurt me now. I can't feel the pain. I was made for this, yeah, I was born to win. I am the champion. Unstoppable, unshakable. They knock me down, I get up again. I am the champion. You don't dominate, you can't hurt me now. I can't feel the pain. I was made for this, yeah, I was born to win. I am the champion. Unstoppable, unshakable. They knock me down, I get up again. I am the champion. You don't dominate, you can't hurt me now. I can't feel the pain. I was made for this, yeah, I was born to win. I am the champion.
Man, UFC has been just taking L's, straight up L's. Now I enjoyed this fight. And I was looking forward to this fight. It was one of the more anticipated fights, at least for me. Good fight, good performance by Killholtz. I thought Killholtz was gonna lose, so I was impressed with that. Naba looked bad. I thought Naba looked bad in that fight. But she exposed her for being one-dimensional. So good performance by Denise Killholtz. Naba, it would always be hard for her. That's a difficult division. I know there's not that many fighters, but the styles is such where they could all give each other losses. The fighter with the best chance of staying undefeated, I'd say, is Liz Carmouche. And that's a mouthful. Boy, that's really saying something. This fight was exciting. I thought this fight was exciting.
the front headlock. She has 2 submission wins on her record.
She's starting to work that guillotine.
Looking for
they tried to spice up the stare down, the face off. I was kind of entertained. Kind of created some buzz for me. But listen, man, I want things to get better. Things to get better. And I got bad. I don't know about this fight right here. I think this might be Priscilla's last fight. She's done a lot of dirty things in her career. But UFC might like her for that. They might look at her as an evil villain. Okay. UFC itself is really, it's run and governed by evil energy. So they might keep Priscilla. But I think it's obvious Jesuda Vicious should win the fight. Hard to believe Priscilla can keep this fight standing. So UFC might be trying to set Priscilla up to give her the boot. If you want Priscilla to win, you have to give her a striker. You have to. Who's that knockout she had? I picked her in that fight where she knocked that girl out. And I forgot her name. And she had power too. And Priscilla ate her punches like nothing. Like M&Ms. Now, this is a challenge for Natalia Silva, but I'm going to pick her over Araujo. I think Araujo is going to try to take the fight down to the ground, just like she tried to do with the champion, Alexa Grasso. But Grasso had good takedown defense and good ability to get back to her feet, just like Natalia Silva for the most part. Silva got way better striking, way better stand-up. Araujo is clumsy. Easy to hit. Easier to hit than Silva. So I'm going to take Silva. And this is a fight between truly talented fighters. I know they're not going to go in there and put on the garbage. I seriously doubt it. We'll get a garbage fight here. That's what I want to avoid. Garbage fights. No more garbage fights. Y'all got to stop it. And it worries me when UFC putting on garbage fights because y'all getting the most views. The most eyeballs is on you. So when y'all look bad, that's when you make my channel look bad. So now I got to come and criticize your fighters. You putting on garbage. And it's the fighters. They're the ones at fault here. Lana Santos out trying to look pretty and be an Instagram. Go be an Instagram model. Coming in all. And she ain't even a real bantamweight anyways. Coming in overweight. And what Mackenzie Dern gets just smoked by Andrade. Got the beating of her life. That's the worst beating she ever took, as far as I can remember. Mackenzie Dern got beaten up bad. Jessica Andrade used her face as a speed bag. And you knew that would happen if she couldn't stop Andrade. Dern cannot strike to save her life. And that's crazy. And I picked Lupita to defeat Ricci, and she did. And I thought Ricci need to go. She got to go too, man. Sorry, I don't think she's not cream of the crop like that. That goofy style. At least Lupita entertaining. and got some serious power. But I enjoyed that fight. I enjoyed it. There was a lot of fights this has gone down since the last time I hopped on here. They got Silva, Mayra Bueno Silva, about to fight for the title. And I'm going to pick her over Raquel Pennington. But she could very well get worked over. She might get worked over by Raquel. I give Raquel a chance in that fight. But I think the UFC needs to do sort of a purge. It's time for a purge. I've been taking in too many garbage fighters. Too many potential bums. Now, hey, ladies, y'all don't like that? Y'all can prove me wrong. Just go put some preciseness, some form into your strikes, into your style, and you have more tenacity. Go after. Stop hesitating. Stop stalling. The aggression is low. It's looking bad. All right, it's looking bad. Yeah, Angela Hill beat up Denise Gomez. That was funny. I think I talked about that. And this girl is helping to keep WMMA alive. This is crazy. This is a crazy era where people like Juliana Pena keeping the sport going. I'm injured. I'll fight the winner. My next fight will be for a title, guaranteed. I feel bad. Not for myself, but for the fans that are being force-fed this horrible fight. What a disaster. Pena, stop it. Stop it, Pena. Stop it. Pena had really one really exciting fight. And that's because Amanda Nunes was drunk. Something was wrong with her. I know, but she stopped Sarah McMahon, but Sarah McMahon was beating her up. She was owning her the first 2 rounds. She gassed out. It's not really exciting when you just, squirm over and wrestle your way to a submission. Nah. That fight against Amanda, that first fight, she was going to war. And it was like a boxing match. Raggedy punches. And it still looked bad with the raggedy punches. But it was exciting. But come on. Mayra Bueno Silva is exciting. Stop it. Pena, stop it. Mayra Bueno Silva is exciting. Now, Raquel Pennington, you might have a point there. I've been a critic of Pennington myself. And boy, this was a beating right here. This is a bad
Save not cutting that extra 5 pounds. That's a big deal.
But that
Look at the size difference.
I believe she missed weight too, didn't she? Now, she has a lot of power. She hits hard, okay? What's her name? Eduarda Mora. I think she's undefeated. She got good power. She looks skilled. She does look like a talent. But I really can't judge her based on that fight. Saying Ruiz is not all that skilled, and I believe she missed weight. Yeah, more. By 3.5 pounds. 3.5 pounds. So she's probably actually a flyweight. And this was her debut. So she can't be doing this. You either make weight. See, I can't even really give her props for that performance, which is too bad. I thought it was a strong performance. She looked scary. She looked violent. She looked dangerous in that fight. Right? Hats off to the performance. She looked dangerous. And stopped Ruiz. But she might not look dangerous at 125 against better opposition. We'll see how that works for her. Oh, and Angela Hill looked good against Gomez. She avoided Gomez's big power. Okay, avoided. And that, you know what, that happens a lot. When a fighter has a big... Wait a minute, I'm sorry. Did y'all hear that? There's somebody outside my window. I was just trying to hear what they were talking about. Sorry about that. But Gomez just had a big, exciting victory over a potential talent. And that happens a lot. When a fighter have a big victory like that, their next fight, they're not all that exciting. You know, they can't keep that consistency. That's a big problem with WMMA fighters. They're not consistent. They get one big, exciting victory, and they over-celebrate about it. They party for weeks on end over that one victory. Make multiple Instagram posts about that one victory week after week and hang on to it. By the time the next fight come, they ain't got no energy for it. They've been too fixated on this victory they had where they got their hand raised. These is little nuances that men have an easier time keeping in check. You see? Because it's only going to get worse after each fight. Now, that's just a suspicion of mine. I don't know what's the actual cause of the inconsistent performances. But inconsistent performances is almost what shapes WMMA. Everybody who's covered WMMA has said that. They look one way, one fight, another. That's why when you find a consistent fighter, that's a dangerous fighter. Okay? Dangerous fighter. That's a good fighter who will potentially move up in the rankings. But yeah, good stuff from Angela Hill. Poor Jin Fry. I think she's it's about time. I think she's retired. Yes, she's retired. Well, no, she's not retired. She's left the UFC. She got cut after another loss, if I'm not mistaken. Right? This was an exciting fight. It's still no violent lady. Didn't she win? I think she, or no, she didn't. I think she lost. She lost, didn't she? Am I tripping? Did I even see the fight? Yeah, she lost.
There it goes down. She's going to trap it with her legs. Now she's got the scarf hold.
Fighting forever. She's been fighting just as long as Wei Li. Yo. So we'll see what she does. She probably got a few more years left in the tank. All right.
Up, raining down punches. She's going to give up her back.
Yeah, Silva had no choice, but she's left her neck open.
She's only got one hook in.
How long she stays at strawweight? You don't miss weight in your debut. You don't miss weight at all.
Brazil does a couple weird things when she...
There it is. Sets her down, and now Gomes going to work.
I mean, that was beautiful. Right to the body, over the top.
She's kind of one-dimensional too, man. She's kind of one-dimensional too. Now, I trust these fighters, these UFC fighters. Yan Xiaonan, I trust her. She's not going to stink up the joint. Macy Barber not going to stink up the joint. Now, Macy Barber has been scheduled to fight Chukagian. Now, a lot of people taking Chukagian. But I'm going to pick Macy Barber. I'm going to take Barber over Chukagian. course, more power, even though Chikagian hard to hurt. But I think if you are a better striker and you can stuff her takedown attempts, she's pretty easy to deal with, Chikagian. So I'll take Barbara. Even though I can see her getting outpointed and out-finessed, but I'll take Barbara. She knows how to get, but, she might get controlled. Chikagian has a chance, all right? I'm not writing her off. And it's sad. Even Invicta's been more entertaining than the UFC.
Able to utilize it, but Rose going for an armbar.
Big shots there from Amar.
Got more activity.
Able to utilize it, but Rose going for an armbar.
Big shots there from Amaro. Looks like her elbows. Oh, yep, elbow totally free now. On the back. Wow. Wow, she's fast.
She got that right hook in trying.
And they outshine the UFC. UFC looking bad right now.
Tina's still looking for that rear naked choke, landing some heavy fire. She came in blasting right hands, and she's continuing to do so from the ground.
Credit to Martin.
They like to disrespect other organizations when it comes to who's the best organization, who got the best fighters. Well, y'all making some mistakes right now, because pretty much every other organization is outside and has been for a while now, or at least being a good rival. All right. So yeah. Yeah, what was that? The girl talking about a staph infection. That girl, that chick is kind of creepy to me. I don't know about her yet. Don't know. I'm going to have to keep an eye on her. Right? Okay. So there's pretty much nothing else. Nothing new. Well, oh, wait a minute. I think I talked about this. I think I talked about these fights, though. But Lisboa, I made a video about these fights. Lisboa seems dangerous, though. She does. To me. Y'all better watch out at 135. And I think she would have washed either one of these girls tonight at bantamweight. These two bantamweights. I think she would have beat them. It's clearly levels. There is levels to this.
Double up on that follow. I mean, that was a heavy. Anytime she throws down the pipe, straight.
They've signed a lot of new fighters, and something unusual might show up. We'll see about that. Oh, she retired. That's what I thought. I thought Jin Fry retired. So fingers crossed. Let's hope for the best for WMMA. See y'all on the next live stream.